So we just saw 47 Meters Down, written and directed by Johannes Roberts, starring Mandy Moore and Claire Holt as two sisters who have decided to vacation in Mexico, of all places, to um, get some excitement out of life. One sister in particular, she's decided to go with her sister on this vacation to prove to that said sister, um, as well as her ex boyfriend now, that she is exciting and she can be that adventurous uh, person that she's always sought after to be. Um, so while they're laying out, relaxing, um, in the spur of a moment, while the more boring sister, I guess, um, is just complaining and talking about her ex boyfriend and how that's gone awry. Um, the other sister, the more exciting one, is like, yeah, let's go party and have fun. Um, During said party at night, they meet two gentlemen. Um, these said gentlemen discuss a rather risky um, uh, shark cage situation um, off the coast of Mexico, and um, through some pretty intense peer pressure by both her sister and these gentlemen, um, they decide to go. So the next morning, they go out on this pretty small boat and they go out. The men go first into the cage rather, and everything goes pretty fine. Although there's some cinematics that prove to the audience that their fears are true. The situation is pretty bad, and it could get a little worse. Um, Saying that, uh, the sisters, both of them really, are on edge, but they decide to go in the cage. One being excited for the thrill, another the complete opposite, and the performances really shine through in that moment. So they start, rolling down. They see one shark. It's pretty large, um, but but then you know the cable snaps, and they start rolling down pretty fast, and all of a sudden they're in pretty much complete darkness, and they are 47 meters down. Um, so basically, all their fears and worries are, you know, um, they've come true, and they don't know when said shark uh, is gonna attack or, you know, just screw up their day even more. So basically, I want to first preface this with my likings to the premise. It's really great. I like the claustrophobic kind of premise. Um, Very reminiscent of Buried with Ryan Reynolds, if you guys have seen that. Um, I just like kind of simple survivalistic tales, and this kind of had that kind of feel to it. And I thought it was gonna, be inventive. Um, Not to be too candid, but I can't help myself. It took a pretty predictable route, unfortunately, and although I thought it was gonna, you know, uh, be more inventive, it decided to be predictable, and you were just waiting for the next time the shark was gonna attack, and it just felt like a fallback to me, and uh, to even boot that gripe even more, the shark to me, the CGI at least, felt jarring and it took me out a little bit. Saying that, I would say the performances, both of them, the star Mandy Moore and Claire Holt, they were in fact stars, and they were pretty much one of two reasons that I stayed in the theater. They had to work with pretty much toddlerish, I would describe it as, dialogue, and they really pulled through with their performances. All right, so back to business. Sorry, it cut off. Um, so yeah, the performances really kept me in my seat. Um, uh, Through the predictability and the weak dialogue, I really felt them pulling their all into it. And that really was it. The other silver lining to me was the twist ending. Sorry to spoil that, but I just feel, although they didn't stick with it all the way, which bugged me. They went with the twist and then they took the rug right under your feet again. So there's basically two twists. But they did take a risk throughout the whole narrative. Up to that point, they did not take like one risk, and it was just fallback to fallback to fallback. Predictability after predictability. But it was a good risk, and I enjoyed the cinematography that went along with it. Speaking of cinematography, especially in the first act, it was kind of irritating. It almost felt commercialist. Like, it felt like a commercial, basically. The way it was shot, it was almost, even the camera angles were, up close and tight, and the lighting was very upbeat and vibrant. I understand the juxtaposition between, surface level and, being uplifting and kind of safe, and then, uh, below that being, what seems to be impending doom. But I just felt that could be better. But overall, the performances were very well done. The characters were not very fleshed out, save the one character arc for the more angsty, on edge sister. She had a pretty good character arc. But the motivations were far too shallow. Pun there. But the pacing was far too rushed, and yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give this film a C.